Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've made enough money to buy Miami, but we pissed it away so fast. Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett, as the Viper, playing as the Bulgarians in blue, gets ready to take on Sebastian, playing as the Chinese in red. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with Goat and with Scout, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. And the Bulgarians, very much what I would call a cost-cutting civilization. Their militia line upgrades are free. Their blacksmith and siege workshop upgrades cost 50% less food, and their blacksmiths do work almost twice as fast as normal. Now, their town centers do cost 50% less stone, which is great, because the Bulgarians can focus their stone expenditure on their unique structure, the Krepos. Think of the Krepos as a mini castle, very similar actually to the Sicilian donjon that we just saw very recently, except it's more expensive, but also comes with more HP, a higher attack, tankier armor, does provide 20 population room, and can only be built starting in Castle Age, not Feudal. Now, once you've saved up all your resources, you can invest them in building a pretty sizable, pretty tanky army. Even though Bulgarians do not get champions, they can upgrade their two-handed swordsman to be incredibly powerful with a +5 melee armor boost, and they can turn their cavalry Japanese by upgrading them to attack 33% faster, which does help out with their unique unit, the Konnik. This is a 2-for-1 unit that starts out as a tanky, powerful flail-wielding cavalryman who transforms into a less tanky, but still powerful infantry unit when it dies, or I guess not dies, but gets dismounted, unhorsed, whatever the correct term is. So I guess doesn't actually technically die. In any event, across the sands, we've got Sebastian playing as the Chinese in red, a well-rounded civ whose economic bonuses and strong tech trees mean a player has a lot of options on how to crush his or her enemies. To start with, all technologies for the Chinese get progressively cheaper starting in Feudal, all the way up to 15% cheaper in Imperial. Their farms seed with 10% more food. Their town centers support 10 population space instead of the usual 5, and you do hit the ground running every single game because you do start with 3 more villagers than everyone else, except it does come at the cost of 200 less food, 50 less wood. Now, to help defend your economy against raids, town centers come with a massive +5. Take a look at this line of sight boost, which means they can see you coming from a mile away, and your walls and towers can be upgraded to get 30% more HP. Now, on the field of battle, getting into their military, Chinese can field all top-of-the-line infantry, although without the supplies upgrade, you will have to pay a little bit more for your champions. Their foot archers and skirmishers are also quite strong, especially if you mix in some of their unique unit, the Chukanu. A foot archer that fires multiple arrows can be upgraded to get an even bigger +2 attack. Now, while their cavalry is good, it really is the Chinese siege that stands out and can be a pain in the ass to deal with, since their scorpions can be upgraded to get a +4 attack. Those are the two civilizations. That is a Chinese scout floating in between 2 cacti as he discovers, I don't know why I clicked the line of sight of the cactus, or the cacti, when Sebastian has discovered where the Viper's base is, taking a very long route around, as the pro players generally do. The Viper, not a care in the world. Man, oh man, has he been listening to some Jimmy Buffett songs? He is cool as a cucumber, not even out on the map, still pushing the ostrich. The ostrich has other plans. Oh, look at that. The Viper saw the scout, knew that shenanigans were a possibility, and then just pushes the ostrich far enough, close enough to the mill, where it could get, attacked, killed, and eventually eaten by the villagers, as he himself now heads straight towards his opponent's base. But Sebastian is back. He's going to see another villager on the lemon bushes, my favorite. Let's take a look while the players both, there we go, both go up to Feudal Age. Viper's resource, primary gold in the back, primary stone in the back, but a little bit off campus in the side positions, has a additional gold pile here and here, very far off campus in the forward position. Sebastian, now this is what I would call a backwards facing gold, although this hill might be annoying. We'll see if he decides to take advantage or build anything on there so the Viper doesn't control it. His primary stone off campus, but in the very, very forward position. And look at his base. This is about as open as a base can be. He's got 3 small forests, all in the kind of side/back position, whereas the Viper's forest, 2 of them in the forward, 1 in the back, and both players have access to a whole bunch of lumber outside of their bases, also in the rear position. So shouldn't really be an issue of wood scarcity this game. Our Chinese hits Feudal Age about 40 seconds ahead of our Bulgarian. Immediately additional villagers queued up, double bit axe for his lumberjacks. Now the Viper is discovering he saw the 5 piles of stone, which indicates to him that he is in the right area. Now he finds the primary gold as well of his opponent. And his opponent, who has, I believe, already seen the primary gold of his opponent. opponent, everyone's an opponent. And now Sebastian will wall this off-ish. Where will he wall off? Where will the wall off go? Will he extend it all the way here to the forest? Will he create more of a circular funnel shape? The Viper, much easier time walling this off. This should be walled off, though, right? This might not be walled off. I don't know. I don't actually know if that's walled off. We'll see if Sebastian decides to discover it for us. For now, he is moving forward with 2 scouts. A spearman trailing behind them. Ooh, they see the Vipers. Spearman, get the hell out of there. A free poke there for Sebastian. And now additional scouts. So it seems like scouts are the name of the game for everyone. The Viper as well, adding a few more spearmen on the defensive. Not a big surprise there. We'll see where he positions them, where he places them. There you go. The slower moving unit. I'm a little bit surprised he's not sending one back here. Okay. So he is sending one back there. Deciding to leave his forward lumber camps, or rather his forward forests, free of lumber camps. Deciding to place 2 down on the backwards facing one. Not something we see every day out of pro players. You know, double teaming one forest. But we'll see if he decides. Okay, so that's why, because he's building a bit of a wall off here for himself. And now he chases the Chinese out of his base. Says, this is not your settlement. GTFO. Oh my god, look at this. Poor Lion didn't stand a chance. Takes a bit of HP, I think. Oh my god, not a bit. Takes, oh my goodness, what is that, 19 HP off of the Spearman? Or was that no, that was the Viper Spear who took a bit of damage. Still no kills for anybody. Yeah, this is the Spearman who took that 5 damage in the poking and the prodding. Now Bulgarian. Let's see how much of the map the Viper has seen. Ooh, he's seen his opponent's base, but the edges completely undiscovered as of yet. The exact same thing for Sebastian, although he's seen even less of the periphery of the map. Relics in that periphery, it seems like. So we'll see how the players decide to divvy those up, if they even care. Oh no. Oh no, one Spearman is gonna he's gonna say, oh god, I wish that Lion didn't attack me. Viper moves in, of course, immediately sees the villager, immediately attacks, pounces, sees the weaker spearman. Villager, spearman stood no chance against 5 of these scout units. And Sebastian responds a little bit too late. Looks like he wanted to send his villager south, but she's kind of blocked in here. I don't know where or rather why she stopped moving. Couldn't she just go around this? Viper does end up losing a scout and is now going to get shooed away from this base. No more villagers here. Oh, maybe Sebastian was waiting for the Viper to get out of his base before he sends a villager to complete that wall off. And look at the Viper. Look at the Viper on the way out. Says, excuse me. Turns around, doubles back with 3 of his scouts and picks off one of Sebastian's scout. But he's got to be careful. His scout here right at the rear is also a sneeze away from dying, and it does exactly that. More units streaming across the map for the Viper. Villager population identical. Army supplies 9-3. Although here in the forward position, they're basically identical. 5 units and 6 units. So funny to watch the horse movement animation when it's moving actually slowly. Looks like that scout did get a whack off at that spearman, or maybe not. Maybe not. Sebastian here. So I was interested to see his wall off. Okay, so going for a bit of a, I don't even know what to call this, nub. A base that looks like a nub, like a thumbtack. Viper pivoting to the south with 1 unit. He probably wants to see if this wall off is complete. Probably not going to find too much damage here. Not a single ranged unit for either player. Why? Sebastian rushing his ass up to Castle Age. The Viper rushing a bunch of upgrades. So Sebastian is pretty damn safe for now. Not a lot the Viper can do here without any archer units. Sebastian, I don't even think you need to do this. I think you can just repair the house. Maybe he felt like he was too late in terms of repairing. Is he planning a bit of a backstab here with a few spearmen? I mean, the Viper's got 3 spear of his own. Where are these guys going? What are you going to do with 2 spearmen? Oh, he's taking a very wide approach here, making sure that these scouts with their additional line of sight, now that they're in Feudal Age, do not see those spearmen, but they will now. They will now. Will they engage 6 against 3 and 2? Ooh, I mean, the Sebastian's units, 2 of them are at half health. The Viper, 1 of them is basically dead. This scout that I thought was going to poke into here, I guess a bit of a waiting game, relaxing there in the hot Arabian sun. Now the Viper's up to castle as well, but a minute and a half behind his opponent. Stable for him, blacksmith for him. What does our Chinese have? A blacksmith. Looks like 2 stables. Okay. He is preparing, but preparing for what? He's got scale barding armor there. +1 armor for his cavalry units. Let's see, once he hits castle in 7 seconds, he's got a good amount of food, a good amount of gold. Will it be upgrades? Will it be units? It is 3 knights on the menu immediately for our Chinese. The second he hits Castle Age, the Viper still a minute and a half away. Might be in a little bit of trouble here. These 3 spearmen are going to have basically the time of their life right now. And oh no, Sebastian, why did you engage into that? There's not a single blue unit dead here. Why did Sebastian take such an awful fight before his knight? Oh, is this why? So he could lead these units away? The Viper has no clue what's about to pop out of the ether. Well, he does now. But these knights, 0+1 spearmen don't really need anything. That's really their attack bonus. 15 against cavalry. That's more important than a +1 here or there. Beautiful maneuvering out of Sebastian, but still needs to get the hell out of here. Okay, at least there's 2 fresh recruits ready to die. At least he got a kill. Now he's gonna lose a knight. Oh, that's so sour. Pathing in this game. Man, oh man, does everyone love complaining about the pathing. A second town center for our Chinese. Now stuck at a meager 6 knights. Husbandry in 30 seconds, but their HP. Where is his monastery? Where is his monk? There it is. It is busy healing. Scouts? Okay. Not 1, but 2 extra town centers for the Viper. Very interesting location here. I'm not too sure what to make of this. I mean, this one up here is fantastic. You need that gold. You need to double team this gold ASAP. You've got 1 villager on gold. This one is very exposed to siege. And these lumberjacks, which I'm assuming the reason he built it here is for the lumberjacks, are going to also be very exposed to any kind of ranged units. And you are playing against the Chinese with pretty damn good ranged units. 3rd town center going up for Sebastian as well. I don't mind this location either. Off campus, unsecured, nothing really to defend it, but defend it against what? These guys are bruised. Look at that. They're down about 170 HP. 4 fresh knights stream in, 4 fresh knights stream out. Town centers at this stage of the game are pretty damn good defensive structures, all things considered. Oh, what a beautiful body block by Sebastian with that knight. Wow, not something we see every day. I mean, the light cav 1.5 with husbandry 1.49. The movement speed is basically identical. I think the Viper realizes, hey, wait a second. How the hell did that knight outmaneuver my scout, my light cav? And realizes he didn't have husbandry, immediately gets husbandry, but he's plopping down a castle. Sebastian sees it. Let's see which direction our Bulgarian is going to go. I mean, you guys know me. You guys know why I love deathmatch. You know how much I love unique units. This is a one-way trip for these knights. An absolute one-way trip for these knights. Upgrades +1/+1. It looks like for both players. Did I speak too soon? Man, I'm having some pretty shitty luck calling battles lately. No, no, no. It's a one-way trip for them. There's no way they're coming home. They are coming home with their shields or on it. All the knights have that little tiny shield. Not exactly a massive shield. Camels being thrown in by our Chinese as well. He sees the knights of his opponent, and there is our flail man, the Konnik, with his morning star, whatever the hell that is out. How many is he producing? He's going up to 3. The latest patch, the patch right before that, the dismounted Konnik got a nice little armor boost, which means I hope we get to see a lot of them. Okay, Viper with 64 villagers. Very hard to micro individual villagers. Oh, you're in the wrong part of town, Camel Rider. Say these villagers. 1 pays the price immediately. 2 spearmen move forward. And man, oh man, was that a good delay tactic there for the Viper. He wanted those spearmen to catch up, but does end up losing a villager for not too much. Our Bulgarian pinching relics all over the map. He's already got 2. This is a 3rd. And now he's going to see this one as well. He's got a scout already here. Does he know about this one? Yes, he does. So our Bulgarian, fantastic map vision. Or not our Bulgarian, our Chinese, our Bulgarian. Our Bulgarian doesn't even know there's a relic here. I don't know if the Viper notices that all of a sudden relic count, available relic count, has gone from 5 to 3 and might actually go down from 5 to 1, or rather 5 to 2, might go down to 5 to 1. Where's the monk? Okay, so he's still healing, the bigger priority here. The Viper knows that there's going to be a unit here protecting this relic. Does he have a monk moving forward? Yes, he does. So at best, it is going to be 3 to 2. At worst, 4 to 1 for Sebastian, who now is inside the Viper's base for an umpteenth time. There is that beautiful structure, the Krepost. 3 knights, almost kinda maybe full HP. Camels are going to absolutely get wrecked here. There he is. There's that dismounted Konnik. A little bit of an armor boost. And like I said, at this stage of the game, Town Center's pretty damn good defensive structures with very low armor on all units in very early Castle Age, which I'd say we're still in early Castle Age. Did he lose his monk? I'm going to stop inhaling like that. Oh, will the Viper see? No, this scout is donezo. What happened to the monk that was here before? Did that scout get him? It must have. And another scout dies for our Chinese. He's got 1 scout left. And he himself is getting a castle, very middle of the road position on a hill. I love the hill position, protecting the stone as well. And the Viper doubling down on, oh my goodness, on cavalry. What the hell did I say, infantry? Now, this monk might want to be a bit more careful. He might want to take the back roads to get back to his base. Not too sure a direct line here, especially now that we see a Krepost being built, is really the way to go. Oh, no. So he's basically just delivering this relic to the Viper. And the Viper sees it. Whack, whack, and a whack-a-doodle-doo, and no more monk there for red. But I don't know that red necessarily cares. Sebastian's racked up 3 relics himself, and he got them much earlier than the Viper got his. Stirrups. Now, one thing I should point out, the Konnik, with its attack of 2.4 before stirrups, slowest melee cavalry attack in the game. 2.4. I think a knight is what, 1.8? 1.8. Now it's 1.3. The Konnik, now 1.8. So if you're going to go Konniks, you absolutely need to get the stirrups upgrade. Relic has disappeared. Gee, I wonder where it went. Viper sitting on 2 relics now. Okay. Builds a house, not knowing that there's a castle. Castle destroys the house. Now he knows there's a castle there for the meager cost of 25 wood. Now Chinese, look at that. A pair of hilltop castles here ringing his base. Oh yeah, build one here and make it a complete set of 3. Okay, players are disengaged. Perfect opportunity for us to see what the hell's going on. What the hell's going on, Viper? Oh, does he still think there's a relic? somewhere here. In any event, that castle just absolutely disabused him of that notion. Chukanu, Imperial Age for both. Let's take a very quick look at economies. 107 villagers, 114 for our Bulgarian army count. Our Chinese is ahead, almost double, 15 extra army supply. But his is kind of random all over the map, being thrown around. A few units here or there. Lion pays the price for attacking a villager. Viper stopping along the road to attack, what was that, an outpost also? A palisade wall, an outpost, which reveals to our Chinese that he is here. And in stream the Konniks. But again, the Viper behind on going up a full 2 minutes. What will our Chinese player do for now? Upgrading his monk's range, getting armor for his cavalry. Heavy camel rider. Oh, let's see it. Whenever you get economies like this in the triple digits at the 30-35 minute mark of the game, you hope, you pray to see some big old battles. The Chukanus reveal themselves. Only a few of them. There's a whole bunch more in this castle. Now a Treb being built as well. So Sebastian making fantastic use of his uptime, his quicker uptime. He's got to be careful here, though. The Viper probably incredibly happy to lead these cavalry units on a chase that will go nowhere just to kill time. 2 more Konniks die. Not too sure if they died to the Chukanus or the castle. How many kills does the castle have? Just the one. So, okay, they died to the Chukanus because that one kill, I think, is just that monk. And there he is, resuscitated for a brief hot second before a bunch of arrows. I believe a base model Chukanu just fires 3 arrows, right? It should say projectile count 2 plus the original 1, and then the elite fires 5 conscription as well. So our Chinese player, who doesn't really have that much military infrastructure, he still just has the original stables, added 1 here, and now he's just relying on castles, 3 castles. Does that mean we're going to get to see a Chukanu transition, a massive Chukanu transition? I hope so. He's got 16 going up to 17, whereas our Bulgarian, castles and creposts. So both players not really going standard armies. And by that, I mean armies built out of standard buildings. Our Chinese has 3 stables to build camels, but our Bulgarian, he is going full Konnik, and there it is, elite Konnik. So he's doubling down. And now I don't necessarily know if that's going to work for the Viper. As red pushes in, there is a flurry of activity at the same time. Konniks get 1 Treb. Konniks will get a 2nd Treb. 1 Chukanu firing away. No kills for him. Dismounted Konnik does whatever he can. Oh, he does manage to get... I mean, take a look at those base stats. 13 base attack. Reminds me of a Woad Raider with a 14 base attack. And 2 base armor of all kinds is just absolutely fantastic. But here we go. Here we go. The Konniks swirl around the Chinese army in the center, protecting the vital organs, the Chukanus right in the center here. Let's see, click on them, see how many kills. 8 so far. But the Konniks close. The Chukanus are falling. The Chinese army is collapsing in the face of this 2-for-1 unit. And the Viper, even though his army count is only 6 ahead, takes that fight handily. And now he's got a whole army. 17 dismounted Konniks still flailing around with their morning stars. What is he going? He's going siege. Big sigh there as a dismounted Konnik dies. And look at this. We don't want war. We want peace. Leave us alone. We just want to mine our stone. Say both of these sets of villagers, but looks like the Konniks, if they're heading that way, are gonna have something to say. The Viper, Sebastian sees it with his 1 perfectly placed Chukanu. Holy shit, was that guy in the right place at the right time? And now Chukanus are out as well. So the civilians wanted peace. Isn't that the way life goes all the time? The civilians want peace, but the military industrial complex says not today. Today is a day for death. And Konniks to the right. No, left. I know my right and the left, I promise. Chukanus to the right. And no more stone mining for either player. Our Chinese completely encircling this gold pile with the hungry pickaxes of its miners. Chemistry for him. These Chukanus are basically almost at fully upgraded status. Just need armor. Just need rocketry to get that +2 attack. He's got a huge amount of resources, does our Chinese. Holy moly. The Viper as well. He's getting arson, I guess, for the dismounted Konniks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Palisade wall falls, but the camels are here. They're much faster than the Konniks. They are at 1.6, 1.49, so they will catch up. The problem is once these Konniks are dismounted Konniks, I'm starting to fear a little bit for the camels. Oh, what an absolute slaughter here. Our Chinese army is so much fun to watch, but it just doesn't have the oomph, you know, the attack power that the dismounted Konniks do. And our Chinese has transitioned into light cavalry units. I mean, look at this, 14 base attack, 18 total attack, 17 for the... What? For the dismounted? Okay, okay, okay. Boom goes the dynamite, and this siege ram goes down to half health. Absolutely don't need that. A super cool fact about the Chukanus, they do 0 melee attack on purpose so that they can destroy siege rams. You see the siege has -3 melee armor. 0 minus -3 is a +3, so each arrow does 3 damage to this ram. A super cool feature. He did not need to waste his petard on that ram. And look how quickly the Chukanus will get this. They get this round. Look at this. Look at this HP here. Look at that bar just melting. This is not your everyday typical archer unit. Because it does that 0 melee attack, it is just so powerful. And now both players are just absolutely driving me crazy. Do I look to the south? Do I look to the north? Where will Gandalf come from? It looks like the Konniks are starting to overrun this position. Chukanus have found themselves on the high ground, hidden here, protecting a Treb. 2 Trebs. No murder holes for Sebastian means that these castles are completely exposed, which means he needs to continue ungarrisoning individual Chukanus to pull this army away. And the Chukanus have held, and now the Viper is going to lose 4 rams unless he's not careful. Elite Chukanus, 5 arrows now. The Konniks are chasing through a whole bunch of archer fire. How is this castle still up? This Viagra castle here is still up, but finally, oh no, the little blue rams do end up destroying it. And now our Chinese is reeling a little bit. Even though his army supply is fantastic, villager count fantastic, it kind of seems like he's on the back foot with these annoying Bulgarian siege rams. He's got to get the Chukanu numbers up. Unfortunately for him, he's down to 2 castles, and there's a whole bunch of rams already here. The Konniks, by the way, with 6 pierce armor, I believe. Yeah, look at that. 6 pierce armor are going to be incredibly tanky. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, I don't mind the transition from the Chinese here into light cav, especially when you've built, let's say, a few more stables from the original 3, the original 2 that you had. Holy moly, 15 stables. How many villagers on food right before he resigned? 77 villagers on food. 77 villagers on food. But this is the problem, just a generic kind of rule of thumb in Age of Empires. When you're relying on castles, even creposts, to produce your military, and the vast bulk of your military, I mean, he just now is starting to transition into more and more light cav. I wonder why he's only training 4 when he's got 416 food in the bank. He's got enough to train, what, about 13? But when you're relying on your castles, and the castles are super expensive, you know, you're not the Frank, there's no, oh goodness. I'm completely forgetting the detonets. The name of the upgrade, detonets. They're incredibly expensive, and if you lose them, it's GG. Because there's nothing Sebastian can produce here now except light cav. And his light cav, although fully upgraded, are still just light cav. The Chinese do not get hussars, which is super sour for them. But ultimately, yeah, castles just falling way too much. Chukanus not doing the job they needed to do. And Sebastian looked like he had a lot of momentum in Imperial Age when he was 2 minutes ahead of the Viper. but he just ultimately couldn't capitalize. Like I said, here to the south, the Viper, you have to be so careful. If his cavalry is leading your entire army on a chase, there's a reason for that. Sebastian should have taken his knights, his camels, that body of cavalry that he had, and immediately turned them around and struck into the ooey gooey center, because in early Imperial, or right before the Viper even hit Imperial, these Kreposts weren't here. He didn't have 4 Krepos. And honestly, even if he did, the amount of cavalry that our Chinese had could have caused potential problems here. Sebastian also may have wanted to raid a little bit more. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have the opportunity. Looks like he's going to save this castle, but ultimately, what can you do? You know, again, this castle is done. This blue army is here. You yourself have now lost your wall off, because again, it's impossible to micro 122 villagers while at the same time withstanding the military pressure put on by the Viper. And once that castle goes down, he's got 1 castle left, an exposed base. The camels are all gone. They're all dead. And light cavalry against the Konnik is going to do literally jack nothing. So I can see why he GG'd. 82 Chukanus, 150 Konniks, Hera level APM at the middle stage of the game. Earlier stage of the game, peak APM for Sebastian. Economy, I'm very interested to see. Relics, even though he had 1 extra relic, I thought this was going to be a bit bigger, more than 900. It's not even 900. This is like 850 or something difference in gold. I thought he got these 3 relics long before the Viper did, but I guess the game didn't really last that long. But look at this. Trash resources for him. Rare resources for the Viper. About 2 castles worth, or what do we want to say? 3 Kreposts? It's not exactly 1,400 resources to give him 4, but 3 Kreposts worth of stone and a little bit more gold. Where are the conversions? Only 2 conversions at the end of the day. But let's take a look at kill count. 257 for our Bulgarian, 41 villagers. So he did do a good amount of damage, did the Viper, with that raid here to the center with the Konniks. Man, oh man, was that bloody. Sebastian just failing to get the civilian kills, but he is leading in military kills. No surprise there with the ranged units, the Chukanu. I mean, these 10 units have 22 kills themselves. And like I said, I don't think that petard was really necessary when you're dealing with Chukanus. They take out rams like nobody's business. Like nobody's business. And what's their rate of fire, by the way? 2.4. So pretty damn slow. But the quantity of arrows, the damage output, and now it looks like he has rocketry as well. So look at that attack. 14 attack on an archer unit. An archer unit. That's pretty damn high. But ultimately, again, betrayed by his lack of castles, Sebastian realizes, I think, that he just has no future with light cavalry, and he doesn't really have the resources. He's got 1 pile of gold with 700 gold in it that is no longer mineable. And with the loss of that, he can basically only go trash. And if you go trash, you against an army of Konniks and loss of map control, you are not winning that game. And the Viper, with his massive army of twofers, takes the big W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.